Okay guys, showing you another piece of equipment from my bug out bag videos. Again, you know, I don't always see them, but I think this is very, very important. Whether you have it in a bug out bag or not, shovel is a very important thing to have. Even in the $50 budget bug out bag video I did, there was a gardening shovel, a small gardening shovel I got from Dollar Tree for $1. And, you know, I'm like, hey, even that's better to have than nothing. Shovels are really important. There's a lot of things you're going to need it for. Let's just say there's shit hit the fan scenario and you don't have, of course, a shovel. Let's say you live in apartments or something, or a condo. Well, of course, you're not going to have a full-size shovel around, but this is a way you can have a shovel put aside. For those of you planning to bug out, well, then your life's going to rely on a shovel in one way or another, right? If you're in a urban area, let's say waste, you know, you're probably gonna have to bury your waste, right? You can't just go out there and take a dump in the grass and leave it there. I mean, everybody doing that, there's gonna be real problems. You're gonna have flies and all kinds of, you know, disease and stuff. You look at bubonic plague, man. They used to just that was lack of sanitation. All the rats, and you know, the rats, the carriers, and you had the fleas would bite the rat and bite a person and infect them. So there's gonna be a lot of health issues if shit hits the fan. So burying your waste would be very recommended. But there's a couple things you can do. Let's say, like I said, this is my bug out bag. These come with some come with a case, some do not. But this is a military surplus shovel. Of course, I like military surplus myself because it's cheap. There's some that are a little bit lighter weight out there, you know, SOG and stuff, and that's cool. My brother's got a SOG. But I like this myself. It's a little heavier, but I think it's a little heavier duty as well. Folds up, very compact. Of course, most of you guys know, and those of you don't, just twist this sucker here, and there you go. The whole thing opens up. Then you tighten it back, and there you go. You got a pretty solid shovel. And now, let's say you're out in the middle of nowhere. You would use that guy, dig a hole to bury your waste, right? And of course, you look at the edges, you can sharpen these up. Of course, I nicked myself in one of the videos I did on it. The bug out bag video, I just scraped myself on it and got myself. But, you know, you can use this for cutting small branches and stuff. It's really, really heavy duty. Of course, you can only do it for so long and it can last forever. But also, let's say it's cold, rainy, wet weather. Some people say take some foil paper, right? Start a fire on that. Okay, that's a good idea. And there's a lot of things you can do with foil, but here's one thing. If you start a fire on that foil, you no longer have foil. It's going to burn up. I guess you could fiddle around with it and try to save it, but that'd be kind of a pain in the behind. What I would recommend, instead of trying to start a fire on wet ground, you get your you get your Kindle and tinder, and you start a small fire on the shovel head, right? And then you have your larger logs, your fuel, and you can just kind of scoot that off on that with a stick, maybe some wood, and then you got more wood built up on top of that, right? You can start a fire like that. But you know, you can use the foil trick or start ahead on the shovel of that thing, right? You can use it for defense if you need it to, right? If you're next to a water source that's kind of dirty, like a stream or something that's kind of, you know, questionable, or let's say there's some really nasty, muddy water, dirty pool, you dig an Indian well right next to it, you know, a couple feet away. You dig down a couple feet, and you let the water saturate and fill it up. You dump out all the nasty, murky water. You let it fill up again. You keep doing that until the water's somewhat clear. You take that water and you boil it up, right, in a survival type situation. Well, you're gonna need a shovel to do that. You can do, I guess you can do it by hand, but you know, it's gonna hurt like hell, rocks and all kinds of shit. Maybe losing nails and get infection. It's much easier just to have a shovel, right? Again, some come with a case, some do not. But I very highly recommend you have a shovel if you plan to bug out. And just a good thing to have, you know, even if you're gonna bug in, which is what I really recommend you do. If you are interested in the shovel, I'm going to leave a link in the description bar. Basically what I do, I go on Amazon, I find the cheapest price, and I put a link in the description bar. If you buy from that link, you'll help my channel out, right? And of course, you know, why am I going the cheapest? Well, it's better to sell two, you know, than one, because the percentage ain't really that great. But anyway, you know, make it up in volume. If I can move a couple of these, better off. So I leave you guys the best price, right? It's in my best interest to get you guys to take them at the best price. The more people that are prepared out there, the better off we're going to be. And even if you don't buy through the link, hey guys, I highly recommend you get a shovel and all the other equipment that you've seen in my videos. Very handy to have. If you don't feel like buying it through my link, that's cool. Get it anyway. And if you do decide to get it to my link, well, I'll really appreciate that. Anyway, y'all have a good one. Thanks for watching.